So what are we gonna do about the situation we're witnessing here in the last couple sessions? Obviously, the market has been in a turmoil, and as you can see, we did witness a little bit of bounce here yesterday and today. But the way the market closed on the last hour right here, and what happened was though, the gap was not fully filled here. As you can see, this was yesterday's down gap. We closed here on Friday. We opened here, and you can see about 50% of the down gap was still remaining. This is a second day bulls trying to fill that gap from yesterday morning here. As you can see, that down gap was not fully filled. If you look at this, in the last couple weeks here, going all the way back to the all-time high, we have 3 down gaps. Obviously, Boss Bear Command Center was established at 564, 560. Ever since that down gap was never filled at all-time high, things got extremely difficult. And that's gap 1, gap 2, gap 3. And knowing the gap 3, we can look at that gap 3 as a bear troops branch here, third branch, that buyers, the bull troops, are not able to completely dismantle. As you can see, we got up, got rejected right here. It looks like a prior support, at least for the day here on this day, acting as resistance here, and the last hour sell-off definitely making a lot of bulls nervous going into tomorrow. And with that little shenanigan down move on the last hour, we did lose the micro term here. We gotten above the micro term at least a couple hours or so, and we are back below. Obviously, all these moving averages are not supporting the buyers. As you can see, we got the midterm here, we got the short term here, we got the long term here, we got the micro term here. As of today at close, we are below all the moving averages. And you might ask me, what about that oscillator, okay? That oscillator still rising, nowhere near over, but that must give buyers some kind of solace here going into tomorrow. Well, when we're dealing with overall downtrend, as you can see in the last couple weeks, when we do see that oscillator crossing up here, similar to late July, you can see as the oscillator crosses back up at the oversold zone, instead of seeing smooth bullish runs that we usually witness during this fierce bullish uptrend we've been in the last 5 months or so, instead, you can see how the price struggles to find traction to the upside. Even when we did see that gap up on this cross, quickly, midterm was right there. Midterm did act as resistance here, and the market tanked. So when you're looking at the oscillator and understanding where the overall market is, you know, we can use the oscillator oversold bounds as what that is, which is oversold bounds. It's difficult to look at that as a major reversal signal like we've been looking at it in the last several months when we're in an overall uptrend, right? When we're in an overall uptrend, we see oscillator bounds, we reclaim the micro term. A lot of times that's the recipe for new all-time highs and market to find this traction to the upside. Now with the command center that's been established at 564, it's been open for a week or two, and we got 3 down gaps. The bears are working with all these branches are supporting the bears. All these moving averages are also supporting the bears, and so this oscillator advancing is vulnerable at best here. And I think we do have this up gap that, as you can see, that 508, 505, that's where we did see that low yesterday when we gapped down quickly. Market did recover a bit because that's the gap area, as you can see, that 508, 509 or so. And so possibly if bulls try super hard to somehow protect this gap, or they need to make another secondary up gap or something like that, possibly if they can hold this level and make sure the gap doesn't get filled, possibly, you know, there's a chance that bulls can make something going to fill these down gaps. But right now, as you can see with the lower highs and lower lows, the trend is, the trajectory of the trend is to the downside. And we do need to give, especially the way the market closed on the last hour, losing the micro term does look vulnerable here. If we see any kind of down gap in the morning, possibly 515 to this low here, if that gets lost, that up gap is going to get challenged. If we do lose the 508, 505, you know, we got the low right here at 494, which is the end of April, late April low. And that's gonna be then. So if bulls are working with a little bit of support here in this vicinity, but with all these moving averages now crossing back down, bulls gonna work a lot harder to find some sort of traction or reversal. But as of today, it's difficult to say if the major low has been put in as of today.